Hey Sunshine, welcome to Always Sunny DIY Crafters. I have an awesome project to share with you today. This etched sunflower transfer caught my eye the minute I saw it, and I saw this project on Facebook and knew I had to do it. So I grabbed a plastic page protector and I slid my transfer inside. And then I grabbed a Sharpie and I'm tracing around the edges of the transfer. I don't need to worry about all the little details. I just need the outline to get the general idea. And again, I'm not drawing on the transfer, I'm drawing on the plastic protector. So I'm going to take the transfer out and set it aside and grab a piece of cheap watercolor paper that I got at Joann's. And then I'm going to get my chalk paste ready. So I am using 4 colors today. I'm using a green called Meadow and a kind of brownish orange called Papaya. That gorgeous yellow is Bumblebee, and that vivid blue is called Cadet Blue. So now you saw me spray the paints with water because I want them to be kind of thinner and looser. And then I'm going to just go through my transfer. Well, it's not a transfer anymore. I'm going to go through on my plastic and paint in the pieces of the transfer. So I put the papaya there in the center, and then I took the bumblebee and went around. And you guys notice I'm not worrying about every little detail. I'm just kind of like slapping it around the outline. That's all I need to worry about. So I'm not kidding when I say anyone could do this. Even a kid could do this. If you can hold a paintbrush, you could do it, I promise. So then I grabbed that meadow green and I painted the stems and the leaves with that. And I'm starting to love how it's coming together already, but wait until you see the blue with it. Oh my goodness, it's so gorgeous. So then I grab the blue and I go around all the edges around, so this is going to be the sky basically, right? And this sunflower is just kind of like framed against the gorgeous blue sky. So I'm going to tell you right now that I learned a lot. This is the first time I've ever done a project like this before. And so I did learn a lot. And you're going to see in just a minute that I made some mistakes. But the cool thing about painting with this chalk paste is it's so forgiving. And I was able to fix everything and it turned out gorgeous. That was a spoiler alert. It does turn out gorgeous, but just watch. You're going to wonder about my observational skills here in a minute. So now that I've got it all painted, I'm taking the water and I'm spraying my paper and I'm spraying the plastic where I painted. And then I lay my paper down and I just kind of had to try to line it up a little bit and then smush it down onto the paper. And then I just use my fingernails and I'm like scraping it and smushing the paint around. And this is the part where I learned a valuable lesson, and you can learn from me and my mistakes. See how a lot of the places didn't pick up the paint? That's because I put it on too thin. So no worries. I just went back and painted the colors that were missing back up onto the plastic. And then I was able to squish them down again and it worked just fine. So that's what I'm saying about how forgiving this is. Anyone can do it. It is not hard. It's so forgiving, and you can fix anything. It's great. And even if I hadn't been able to fix it, you guys, that was like the cheapest piece of watercolor paper on the planet. So I really would not have been out much if I couldn't have made that work. But I did learn a lot. So here I'm putting it on a lot thicker. This was too thick, and you're going to see that a little bit later. It takes a long time to dry when you get it that thick. So it's all good though. It turns out great. So I'm going to finish up right here. I keep it wet. I keep smushing it. And then I'm going to pull the plastic off here in just a second. After I add a little bit more green to those leaves. So right now it kind of looks like a smushy mess, and that's okay. You'll see. It all turns out. It's all great. All right, so I'm painting in, spraying more water, smushing around with my fingers, and now I'm finally done with that plastic. So now I have to let it dry, and that was the hardest part because I wanted it to be done right now, but it took a minute, especially in that thick yellow spot where I got the paint so thick. But I grabbed my heat tool and I just sort of blew on it for a little bit. I dried the front. I used a baby wipe to kind of blot up some of that really thick yellow paint. And then I turned it over and did the back a little bit too. And then the paper was wrinkly because I added water, and water makes paper wrinkle, but it was not a problem. I just took it into my other room and used my iron on the lowest setting with no steam and ironed the paper, and it looked great. So then I come back and I grab my transfer and I fuzzed it a little bit on the fuzzing cloth because it was so super sticky and I didn't want it to stick to the paper and be hard to get off. So I laid it down over the transfer, just kind of trying to line up where the colors were. And then I smooth out my transfer. And you guys, these are silk screen transfers. And the cool thing is you can use these again and again and again. So I grab my black velvet paste and a squeegee and just start like buttering bread. Really, it's that easy. You only have to make sure that you get every little nook and cranny here, and you want to keep like an even spread of the paste, but it really takes the tiniest bit of paste. This goes a long way. And then watch, when I pull this up, you guys are gonna freak out. It's so gorgeous. Ta-da! Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh, you were worried, weren't you? You thought I was losing my marbles, but you guys, it's gorgeous. So then I grabbed a frame that I got at Joann's when it was on a crazy good sale, and I just put it in there. I sort of lined it up to make sure I got it where I wanted, and then I grabbed a piece of Scotch tape and just put one tiny piece of tape right there just to keep it from falling off. But you guys, I can use this frame again and again and again, forever and ever, and just change out the art that's inside of it for the seasons or the holidays or whatever I want. I just clip it back in place and flip it over, and there it is. There's my masterpiece. You guys, if I can do this, you can do it too, and I'd love to show you how to do it. Ask me and let's get together. All right, stay sunny, everyone.